Hello everyone, this is Adrian from CH. You probably heard me so many times in the videos, but this time you can put a face with an accent. Anyway, so today, gentlemen and ladies, because in this hobby are ladies as well, today it's a evolution day. So we have the 77, the 35, and probably you don't see it right now, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna go through all of them. Okay, so what we're having is the convergence and what it will take and how to do it. Now, one of the things that I have to say, those engines, they are not designed for gasoline. We can do GOLW CDI. When we go to gasoline, things could happen. The engine could run hotter. Can you burn a valve? Sure. Didn't happen so far, but it's possible, yes. So all of those things, it's pretty much like in this hobby, we try, and I personally try to do and supply the best hardware I can afford and can make. What else I can say before we get started? So here it's an Evolution 777, okay, that it's equipped with a Camelia, my body Camelia ring. I loosened up some parts so we'll make this easier. All right, so we have two versions. We have the, I call it glue on, okay, kit. Let's see if we can zoom here. My wife is trying to operate the camera and she's behind the scenes, and actually she's the one that solders the PCB, and if something gets go wrong, it's her fault, not mine. Okay, she showed me the fist. Anyway, so right here we have the bolt-on kit, no, excuse me, the glue-on kit. Okay, so we have a, turn it down, more on the side, and there we go. So she's new to this, so bear with us, guys. Okay, so this is the glue-on kit, the way I call it. Why? Because this, it will go on the crankcase of the engine. Okay, so this ring that holds the sensor, it goes on the crankcase, and when you do it, you have to press it in pretty good. And a couple of things that you can do, you know, it has 3 set screws that you can tie it down on it, but also what I prefer to do, it's either with a JB weld or Loctite. Okay, that will give an extra security for the ring not to come off when we put it on. Okay, so let's see if, okay, so we come to it here, the sensor, it's right here, cylinder number 1, it's always here. So what I prefer to do, I prefer to put the sensor right on top, like right here, and then I go ahead and tie the screws. So before we do that, what I also do, I have some primer for the Loctite, and I give a little bit. That will help it with the Loctite to set up faster. You can use the red, or you can use the green Loctite, that it will be the not removable one. Okay, so this is the red one. And after you put it on, good thing will be to go ahead and wipe it off, because it's a little bit messy, but okay, so we smear it up here. It's plenty, it's more than it has to, more than it needs to, sorry. Okay, now one thing that I forgot to get the paper towel so I can wipe my hands. Alright, so I put the sensor on top, cylinder number 1, usually, sorry, okay, I was wrong a little bit. So where it reads radial cylinder number 1, so I put that one there, and then with a metric 1.5 I go ahead and press this down really good, and I go ahead and tie that up. Okay, so we have 3 set screws that we tie down. 1, 2, and then 3. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind and be really careful with when you do this with this push rods, they are so easy to get out and so easy to lose them. Alright, so I go one more time over the screws. Alright, so actually I started with this not the way I wanted to according to the script. But anyway, we'll get there. So those are tight, and let me put my Allen wrench back. You don't have to show that, it's okay. I told him to follow my hands and she does it, but this in this case wasn't necessary. Anyway, and that's fun. Okay, so the ring, the sensor ring, it's already mounted. Now what comes in this kit? Okay, because we have 2 versions. Like I start to do this. The glue-on version, the way I call it, and that's probably the way it's going to be marketed, is going to be the magnet ring, the prop drive with the cone lock, okay, the magnet ring that has the 7 magnets for each cylinder, and then 1 north that is for reset. Okay, so 8 magnets on this one. So they go together, and on this one I didn't mark it, but usually when you're gonna get it, one of the magnets is gonna be marked black. That one, it's the cylinder number 1. And just for the hell of it, hey, and our helper, CH Junior, makes a little bit of a noise. So cylinder number 1 is gonna be marked with a black magnet, so that one is going to be the one that you will have to do the timing. So we let this on the side, so we have that. Also, you're going to get a timing kit, okay, the electronic device that checks the timing and reads the magnets. Okay, then you have this guy that is the piston stop. What I've done, I made like a universal. Okay, so I showed that in a previous video, how to time an engine, but the heck, maybe some people didn't see it, maybe we'll see this one. So this, you can use it on pretty much all the engine that you might have. This is for the quarter 32, the plugs that they will be for the regular glow. So the spark plugs, they use the same thread. You don't have to do anything, just take the glow plug out and put the spark plug in. So this is going to be for that. One thing that I want to mention, because it happened to me and I don't want to happen to you, you will be on the 4-stroke engines that uses CM6 spark plugs. Okay, so on that one, do not use, especially like Ciulei, do not use this one, the 10 millimeters. What's going to happen, you're going to more than likely bend a valve, because when this one goes inside, the valve interferes, and once it goes there, it gets tight into the threads, and the only way you're going to get it out, by messing up one valve. I've done it, and I don't want that to happen to you. So in that case, you're going to use this combination, the quarter 32 and the adapter that comes in a kit from 10 millimeters to quarter 32. So you put that in, and then you're going to do the 4-stroke engines. You're going to do that in, okay? Okay, so that's going to be that. I'm not going to be needed that for now. What else? And then you're going to have the two-stroke engines, that you can use this one. And then if you have the 14 millimeter, usually the big 3/4 spark plugs, you put the adapter in from 14 to 10 millimeters, and then you can time that engine. I'm gonna go over with that, and I'm gonna explain how you're gonna do that. So, okay, mommy, Susie is down. Susie, we call the pacifier. Okay, all right. So we have that. So we don't know what's happening right now. The operator took a little break. But that happens when you have babies, and actually cute ones. All right, so that's that. Also in a kit, this is a fully gasoline. Okay, so it's gonna come with a Walbro carburetor that comes pre-assembled. Maybe this part here for the throttle is gonna be off. It's gonna be in a package because it's kind of big and might get into the way. So it comes with this, and for this you'll have to use a electric fuel pump. I have one here from Vogelsang. It's $245. It's expensive. It's a really good pump and it works. They're coming like this, or it could have 3 nipples. One that it's the return to the carburetor, to the gas tank. So this is the fully gas. So this comes with it. Okay. Then we have the 7 spark plugs. 7 spark plugs, 432. The gap, I recommend to, and I don't pre-gap them, okay? So this is the way I buy them. This is the way I send them to. I would like to have the gap no more than 0.7 millimeters. 0.5 to 0.7, that would be good. What else we have here? And also, when we gonna put a carburetor on the back, and you're gonna see that shortly, we have 4 bolts and 4 adapters, okay, that will extend the back plate a little bit more back in order to have the carburetor sitting up right there. Okay, so I started a little bit backwards. This is not the way I intended to start this assembly, but we're gonna let now the sensor ring mounted on. So this one is the glue on. We're gonna go to the next engine. That is gonna be the bolt-on version. They come with the same thing, except this, it's gonna have different parts that you will see when I'm gonna assemble it. You're gonna see how this goes together. Okay, so some people wants to be a little bit more scale look, and this ring is gonna be hidden behind the prop, so you're not gonna be able to see it, where on the bolt-on version it's easier to do, but you're gonna have the sensor on the front of the engine, and you will see that. Now let's go back, and now we need to zoom in here, honey. All right, I loosen it up just to make this easier. And in the background you might hear some toys playing, because all the CH team is working on this video. All right, so I'm gonna take those 4 bolts out, and I did this previous, so it will be quick and easier. All right. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that in a kit also you're gonna have a tachometer made by our CXL. So this tachometer, and also a I'm gonna put in the kit also a kill switch, opto kill switch. I'm not sure, that one I don't have it now, so I cannot show that one. Okay, so we got the back plate off. Now it's gonna be the good time to take the carburetor. I have a bad habit of letting the Allen wrenches and I have Allen wrenches everywhere and I have no idea which one is what. Okay, so 1.5 millimeter to take the carburetor off, and I'm gonna show you one thing that actually it's a pain in the rear end to do. So I lose this previously. Okay, so you lose your carburetor and you take it off. Okay, take your gasket. It's not a Vitron or yeah, something like that you will be for the gasoline, but that it's on the outside. I don't think that it's gonna be any issue with that. You put that on the side. Now, one thing on the plate when you take it off, okay, you have the two assemblies here. One is for the choke that comes and covers the carburetor, so you will get the fuel, and the other one for the throttle. And if you go with the GOLW version, you don't have to do any of this. One thing that I will suggest to go over this rivets. Some of them I've seen that they have play, and when you want to adjust the carburetor, it has play in between, and it's a little bit sloppy. But you can do that the way you would like it. So that's that. So remove those two things from here. They're a pain. Don't try to get them loose with the Allen wrench because they are with Loctite. You're gonna strip the threads like I did, and then you're gonna be out of luck. So use something that you can heat it up, and then try to take them off, because without, you have a chance to take them out. I've done it, but I have chances where I have to cut them off because I couldn't get them out anymore, and bolts getting stripped, so on and so forth. So enough with that blah blah. Let's get to this. So now we're getting the carburetor. Okay, the carburetor, it has two nipples here. Okay, I'm trying to explain this because some people might not know, and I got questions about that. What is the fuel coming in? Well, fuel right here where you have the one bolt in the middle of the plate, on the back plate of the carburetor, is the pumping side. Usually 99% the fuel going in, it's the one that it's right here. Okay, so that will be the fuel coming in. Above the needles, okay, it's another port. I don't know exactly how to call it. Now this one, it's usually used for a primer bulb. You can put a priming bulb like on the weed eaters, and that will make it easier to suck fuel. Now on this case we don't have to, because the electric pump does a really good job, as you've seen probably in the previous video when I showed actually was this engine running. Okay. Okay, so we have the carburetor, we get the ring, we put it on. All right, because gas is not gonna get to this part here. It's on the exterior. All right, so now everybody will have a preference on how to do it. I usually like it to have the needle valves to be on the lower side, the way the engine sits. Let me see. Yes, here is going to be the top cylinder number 1 here, and somewhere like in that position you have to gauge, you know, where you want your throttle. So those will be adjustments that you will have to do. I removed the part of the carburetor here that you used to play the choke. Also, this can be removed, or you can let it in. It doesn't affect you with anything. One of the things though that I will need to do, okay, I might have to ask the operator. On back there on the bench, I need a pair of pliers, please. The red ones, right there, right there. Yes, thank you. There we go. I forgot to get this, because I forgot to turn this fuel line up. This way it will make it easier to hook up the fuel. Alright, so we go with the carburetor in and we try to gauge it, you know, like where, how we will like it, and probably in that position will be fine. Like I said, I like to have this pretty much like in this position, okay? So then what we do, because you can do this afterwards, you know, after you put the plate back in and all that stuff, but now that you, I was looking for the allergens, what I just told you guys, so mess with this. So once you have this and the ring is also on the way, it's going to be kind of hard. Use the ball side if you have to first and have it here just snug. Don't try to tied it up with the ball side because I'm gonna strip the set screw. Okay, so that a little bit there, and now we're gonna go on the other side on the back, and we're gonna do that a little bit until I feel it that it's a little bit snug. Okay, let's control that. This it's all the way push. It looks like it's okay. Now use the regular side and tie your carburetor so it will not come loose. You can use Loctite if you want to. Also on this, the nipple that goes inside of the crankcase, you can put also some Loctite if you want. If you can put some RTV. It's not gonna hurt anything. Actually, it's gonna be even better. Okay, so tie your set screws. Make sure you don't strip the heads because then it's gonna be, then hell is gonna break loose to try to get them out. Okay, so we tied this side. Okay, I think it's tight enough. I don't want to strip it. And let me put my 1.5mm back in the set because then I'm gonna look for it and not gonna find it. Now, after we put the carburetor on, we're gonna mount back the plate, the mounting plate that originally comes with the engine. Now, one thing though, we have to put the original ones on the side because we don't need those anymore. They have to be replaced. Okay, we need longer bolts. They are 55mm bolts. So we're gonna have to start putting this together. Always tries to start as much as possible the bolts by hand, not with a wrench, because the thread might get crooked and strip it afterwards. So just a little bit. So one in place. Okay. Well, let me put the Loctite. I'm gonna have to take the other one out. A little bit blue Loctite on it. Not much, just a little bit. Okay. Right. It's gonna be fun. Okay. I put the spacers that I make. I put them first and then the original one from Evo. And this is a fun part here until you get it in. Alright. Okay, I need to take this one out. Didn't put Loctite on it. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay. Where did the ring go? Right next, two of them. So one it got under this engine. One here. Get the next bolt out. Loctite. Oh, shoot. Okay, my pants, they're gonna do that part. And I know I'm gonna get yelled at, but I pretend like I don't hear, I don't see. Tata? Alright. Tata. And by the way, Tata is daddy in Romanian. Okay. So maybe for you guys, when you hear that background sound, might give you memories back when you guys had the babies and all that. What a wonderful feeling. All right. Yep. It's kind of a hard. All right. All right. So now this will be the last one here. I hope guys gonna be able to see as much as possible. Okay. Alright, so this is the way the carburetor, it's sitting on the back of the engine. Okay, as you can see, I give a little bit room so you will not be bothered by anything. The throttle arm, it's on this side. Okay, now if you have to, like I said, I like to see the needle valves. Okay, I didn't lose it. I like to see the needle valves on the side, on the bottom. Now if you have to, and you have to have the throttle on the other side, then flip the carburetor and hope for the best. Usually I like I said, I like them on the bottom because fuel flows pretty good in that direction, good there. And there's no air pockets. Anyway, that's a different story. So this part here has been done. It's all good. Now, the next part is to install the prop drive. It has to be a new one. The original one, no matter how tight you do the prop, you're never gonna be able to have this to stay on the shaft. So this, you can keep it, you can do whatever you like with it. So magnets in, and I do have to make myself a mark because I forgot to. Okay, I have to make sure that I know well, actually I know which one is it because I put a timing on it, but I make myself a mark here. So there will be cylinder number 1 when the timing is going to come. So you have the locking cone. Also, what I do, don't do what I do, I like to put a little bit Loctite on it, just a little bit, and I don't put on this one the primer because it's gonna set up really quick, and if I need to move it, then I'm gonna be out of luck. So it doesn't need to be much, just a little bit. Okay, now after we did that, we're gonna take a prop and we're gonna tie it down. So the same thing is gonna be on both of them. The same procedure is gonna be required. Okay, put a knot, and you have to tie it down until oil comes out. Now, for this I have to stand up a little bit because and by the way, use a 14mm wrench. Okay, so that's pretty tight. Now after you done that, loosen it up. Okay, got some stuff off, doesn't matter. Life is good. Sun is up. Okay, now the prop drive, it's locked on the shaft. It doesn't go anywhere anymore, so that's gonna be good there. Okay, so coming back to this, now we have the ring here. Okay, so the ring is gonna have to come around from here in this section if you can. Okay, so the ring is gonna move nice. We have like a millimeter or so, so that's good. Okay, now it's gonna be the part for the timing. What I usually do, get my little body here, cylinder number 1, remember the one that has the word radial on it. Okay, that's number 1. Also this can go by that. Now one thing that it happened, I feel it because I didn't let it happen. You have to be really careful with this engine when you put the spark plugs in, or even the glow plugs, and you tie them. It's so easy, so easy to mess up the threads. I don't know, the material is weak or so, but if that's the case, don't worry about it. Just contact me and send me the cylinder, and I'll be able to put an insert in. I have a kit that allows me to do that. Okay, so okay, and for some reason, I don't know, this engine is a little bit tight. Shouldn't be that tight. This is much loose than this one. I don't know exactly the reason why. I feel like the bearing's a little bit tight on it, but it shouldn't go this hard. Okay, I put my piston stop in, and I don't know exactly where I am. Okay, I just put it in at a certain position. Oh, and you're gonna get also in the kit a paper one. In the kit also comes the metal one from our CXL. And what I made also decals that you can peel off and fix them on your airplane. See? Nice, transparent, and they come pretty good. Alright. So I'm gonna take out the electronic timing device. That it has the 2 lights on it. Alright. What I usually do, okay, this is what I do. I put the piston stop in and I screw it in until it stops in one side. I can see from now that gonna be a little bit tricky. But this is one that I made for me. The other one you can laminate it, you can put it on, and it's gonna be the same thing. Okay, so I made for myself because I do other things. I need it to be like that. So what I do, usually I use this part, and I use a spacer, something that, you know, will make it easier to. And now I'm looking, like I told you guys, I'm looking for the nut. I know that I'm here speaking, but I'm looking for the nut. I found it. Okay, so I get a nut. And I put it on. Now, I know that I want to be 30 degrees before top dead center. So what I do, I put the piston stop in counterclockwise, okay, until it stopped on the engine, and then I tie this a little bit. I have the mark on 30 degrees before top dead center, and then I put the pointer. Okay, so I got the pointer at I'm trying to, from this position it's hard for me to see. From where I sit it shows 30. I don't know what you guys see there. Okay, now one thing that I've seen, and I'm gonna be in trouble, but I'm gonna fix it. It's not gonna be a big deal. Turn the engine around, tighten this a little bit. So since the engine is a little bit tight, and see where we stop. Well, we stop at 35 degrees. Damn! Even if I wanted, I wouldn't be that lucky. So what I said on the previous video, okay, we started at 30 and now we are at 35. So in theory, well, in theory, in reality, we have 5 degrees difference, but I just want to see if I'm right about it, and I didn't move the pointer, so it's good to double check. Yeah, so started from 30. So this is the part that it could be zoomed in, please. So we're starting at counterclockwise, okay. We are against the piston, stop. So we started at 30. So now we go clockwise, okay, and we are stopping actually at 30. Wow, I got lucky, okay. I'm gonna double check because I can't believe this. Yeah, 30, 30. Okay, and turn it around. 0, 10, 20, 30. So right there, I don't know how that happened, but usually doesn't happen that much. Honey, bring me please the little box with set screws. That's why I said I thought it was gonna be in trouble, because I knew that I forgot to put the set screws in this ring, and there's no way for me to lock it. So what else I can tell you? In case that, let's say, use this time, the idle time, in case that you are 40 degrees, okay, you started at 30 degrees, and when you turn the other way around it, you was at 40. So we have 10 degrees difference. What you do, you move your pointer to 35, okay, and then move it around again, and it's supposed to come back when you move it around. It should be at 30, and then you can lose your screw to bring it down to 30 degrees. Okay, so my 2 set screws there. Well, at this point, just for the hell of it, I'm just going to make sure from my point, the way I see it, that it's 30, because okay, so I'm 30 there, because I cannot believe this, you know. I made quite a few engines, and this, to set it like that, damn, 30 nuts without making any movement. I guess my luck for today is gone. Yep, 30. So at this point, I can take the wheel, the degree wheel off. Don't need it because the piston stop is gonna be on the position. So we remove all the stuff off. Okay, get everything off of it, and now forgot to close my Loctite, and then I'm wondering why it gets dry. All right, now I have to put the set screws in because I missed them. Okay, now other things. All right. The other things that I want to talk about is about the CDI. I have here, zoom here on this, the new boxes that I'm making. Okay, so they're gonna be like the old style that Bill Carpenter used to do for many years, because I got people saying, you know, that why they are not the same, they don't look the same, they were good, they were more durable. So I found a good outfit in California that actually does those boxes now for me, and probably I'm gonna bring back the other ones too for the single and twins. They're pricey though. They're really pricey. They're much more expensive than the plastic one that I'm getting in here in US, but it is what it is. Now I have right there on the table also a couple of things. Let's zoom here. Okay, so here it's, you know, I've been asked so many times why the systems are so big. Well, limited. The electronic parts is like electronics, but limited by the ignition coils. Okay, if it's a multiple cylinder, okay, it's gonna have as many cylinders, it's gonna be as many coils. Now the coils, they are like 17.5, like I can say a cube. Okay, even though they are round on the bottom, they have a radius like 18 millimeters cubes. So I cannot make those units any smaller because they have, and they already, you know, very close to each other, which, to be honest, I don't quite like it. It works, but probably I'm gonna go a little bit bigger space, because between the hot and the ground it's not very close, but enough that it could leak to the ground. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this type of stuff, so you guys know. The new batch of PCBs, that they will be for the 7 and 5 cylinder, and pretty much for, I designed this to be able to use for pretty much 4, 6, whatever. This is the brain PCB. What I've done on this one extra, I'm gonna have a LED that is gonna be a 2-color LED with the red and green. It's pretty much what the timing device does now, but this also will allow you to see when the power is on, because I've been asked about that, so I was trying to see if I can incorporate it. So I made a new batch. I haven't made one yet, so first I have to build one and test it. Hopefully I didn't screw up anything on the design, and I didn't miss any traces. The boxes, okay, the aluminum boxes, okay, they're coming nice. And one thing, they are 4 on one side and 3 on the side. I could make it, you know, 7, but here it's a 5-cylinder, okay, that I'm gonna make. So imagine that it's gonna be, you know, something from here to here. Are you gonna be able to put that in a plane? I'm gonna try. If you guys need me to do that, I might make a couple of, but that's again. So let's put those on the side, because we don't need this. So those are the high voltage for PCBs for the 5-cylinder, and those are for 4, 7, and probably I'm gonna make 3 cylinders in the same way. So let's, okay, that's good. Get this out of the way. They don't have anything to do here now. Alright, so now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check up the timing so we can lock the ring 30 degrees before top dead center when the magnet first get in touch with the sensor. Okay, so this is what I like to do. I like to space those a little bit more like that, so be able to put it. Now when you connect the plug from the sensor to the device, and by the way, the battery, you can plug it either or, it doesn't matter. Okay, so when you plug it, what it matters is, you see this part here that it doesn't have the clip for holding it. When this part must be connected like this. Okay, so if you don't connect it like that, might be able to burn the sensor. Now this one, it's a little different one that actually is the first one that I'm trying, and hopefully that story with the connection not gonna be hold true. But remember, this part here must be connected like this, and that way you're gonna be safe. Now I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see here. Let me try to do this. And all right, so now what we want to do, we want to make sure that we are against the piston stop. Okay, so that is true. Now if you look at the device, okay, can you zoom a little bit like that, and you're gonna see, you know, green 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and red. So what? I count wrong. Sorry guys. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay. So what you want to do, you want to make this motion to make sure that you have solid, that you have solid lights. You must have 7 solid greens like you've seen, and 1 red. Okay, so after the red, the first green that comes on, that is cylinder number 1, and that has to be locked in at this point. When right now, you see, once the device starts to buzz, that is when you wanted to lock the ring on. Okay, so you have 2 set screws. All right. So you see, so that is where you want to be. Now since you locked it down, you can take the piston stop off and do the same motion again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and reset. Okay, so this will take care of the timing part of it and pretty much how to install it. So I've been over all the details on this part, and this is the way how a full gasoline CH conversion goes with it. Now it was a question, you know, why I have to use an electrical pump, because somebody did with a other pump with other type of carburetor and said they're running. One thing that I've done, and before I got to this, I did the same thing and I thought that I was lucky. Well, guess what? Engine ran beautiful on the stand, but once it was up in the air, it didn't like to. Soon that you move the tank position, it will not run right. It might stop. So this way, you have all the time positive fuel. So this is done with this engine. We move to the next one. So this is the scale type stuff, and reason being is, okay, I should have done that. Oh, lucky again. And I thought that my luck was done, but okay. So when you have the prop, and if you look from the front on the engine, okay, you are not able to see as much, okay, of my stuff. So I hope this video, guys, is gonna answer a lot of questions that make it easier for myself and you guys also, because I've been asked why I didn't make like a instructions. It's so much to write about, and I think that, you know, sometimes it's easier to, yeah, my wife tells me no, because we have some guests coming and she needs to do some stuff, and she's showing me that, no, finish, do it all the time. And I don't have other time, it has to be now. So bear with me 10 more minutes and we're done. Thank you, honey, I love you too. Anyway, she's a really good girl. I couldn't ask for more than that. Oh boy. Yeah, so now we have the bolt-on version, okay? What it is, the same principle, exactly like it was on the other engine, is the same thing you do. You want it glow, you let the original carburetor in. This one is also gas, so it's not the carburetor here. The prop goes in the same way, timing goes the same way. The only difference is that you have these parts and the sensor that, you know, is like this. It could be red or black, whatever I can make it with. But more than likely they're gonna be black, because the red, I don't have that many more shells. So enough with blah blah, my wife is gonna kill me. So what you do, the same thing. You take on the cylinder number 1, you take the 2 bolts out. This engine was timed previously, but I just took it off so I can show you how this goes. So this is what you do, okay? So you have, let me see how I can hold this. Okay, so you guys can see. So you have those spacers, okay? And then you have this part that holds the sensor, and this part, that's the brace that ties the sensor. You put 1 screw in, like I have two left hands right now. Okay, so that's that. You do the same thing with that second one. You put it in, you screw it in a little bit, so you have room to put the sensor in. Now, ouch. Okay, I didn't. Okay, so then you put the sensor in this position with the flat. It's no way to put it in. It's made so it will fit only in this hole right here. So it's no other way to put it in. So you put it in. Okay, I have to turn it like that so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Yeah, we're talking. So you put the sensor in, okay, and then you start to tie this down. Once you start to tie down, you're gonna see that, oops, wrong one. And then again, I didn't do as I promised to put my wrenches back. Damn it. Okay, there we go. Now it's nice. The sun is down. I hope that you guys still can see. Can see here? Okay, so once you start to tie that down, the sensor goes in. Okay, and it holds it right there. Nice. So I'm not sure how much you can see. Okay, right now, right now, if we look at the sensor, between the sensor, the smaller diameter of the case and the sensor, it's a little bit up. This red particular sensor right here, it does not have the line like the black ones. So what I do is pretty much the bottom of the sensor, okay, it will have to be almost touching, okay, yeah, like right now. I don't know if you are able to see. Okay, so it's no more gap in between the crankcase and the plastic case. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and tighten it down. All right. So, you see, now we have the gap. Don't look at this space here because that was something that I've done. I tried something until I find the right measurements. So as you can see, we have the gap in between the cylinder, between the sensor and the magnet ring, and this is how the bolt-on version is. Okay, so when you have the prop in, actually you see this part right here. So that is that. So this will be the bolt-on version. We put this engine down also, and we get to the next one, the 7, and we have also the 999. I don't have one of those engines right now to be able to show that, but for 9 cylinders also we can make it. The 735, this is my personal engine. I have to buy it to be able to come up with a kit. It's pretty much the same thing, you know, magnet ring, sensor ring, and the bolt-on. I'm not sure if I will go and make a glue-on type stuff, but probably I will do, because this engine is so cute. And I may make a different sensor holder, but I have to see the dimensions, if it's doable, if I can fit the sensor in. That's one of the biggest challenges. So this is the 735. It's only glow. I'm not sure if this is gonna go, oops, not to lose the connecting rod. Not sure if gas is gonna go with this. I have to try it, many other things, but this is a cute little thing that it will go on my Stearman. Yeah, and my Stearman that it stays in a closet, and I don't fly it because I cannot, but I bought it. All right, so gentlemen, thank you for bearing up with me for so long, but I hope that this video will help you understand how CH kits get made, how you install them, and if you guys have any suggestions, just please feel free at any time to call me, email me, and I'll try to do the best that I can to help you out with any questions that you have. Been trying to be fairly quick with the responses. Sometimes I read the emails and I think that I reply them, or I start to do, and then somebody calls or something else happens and I get distracted and I forget. Anyway, enough with the blah blah. Thank you so much for watching, and come back for other kits, other ignitions, other things that CH might do in the future. Thank you, and come back for more.